Finally got the US General 30-inch one drawer service cart, something I've wanted for quite some time. It's they had the tent sale, so it was like 89 bucks. Actually I went with the orange, but it looks really bright in the camera. I don't know why the GoPro's picking it up like extra bright, but like that is the actual color. And standing back looking at them, they both, I don't know why it looks like that, but either way, it's not that bright. But my favorite color is orange. That's why I went with orange. So I wanted to talk about a couple issues I had with it. I've seen some videos of people doing other, when they show you their build, and nobody talks about the couple issues I had. Maybe it was just me, I don't know. So just something to think about so you don't have to take it apart twice like I did. The first issue is the wheels. I mean, the wheels are crap, but you got to think about what way you're pushing it, because if you mount the wheels wrong, in the wrong orientation, you can't see the lock because it's underneath the cart, so you don't have access to it. So you got to, if I push it this way, now you have access to the lock. Well, if you stagger them or don't put them on the same side, you're not going to be able to get to the lock. To put the lock on, it basically has to go like pretty much all the way up. Like, that's still not locked. It's kind of a bad design, honestly. I'm going to be upgrading these tires to some 6-inch just because out back where I am behind the house is gravel. But for now, those are staying on here. So once I realized with the way the drawer was oriented and where I'm gonna keep this thing, I wouldn't have access to the locks. So I ended up flipping it upside down and switching them over, right? Well, when I went and bought the tray to put the side tray on here, I noticed that the drawer, like, it's flush now, but it wasn't when I put it together. So I loosened up the 4 bolts on the top, and there's no adjustment front to back on the drawer. So on the top, the hole is only as big as the bolt, but on the top of the drawer, it's slotted, but it's slotted left to right, so you can center the drawer in the opening, but no front to back. So it was like this in the back. Like, I don't know if you could see the gap, and you see the lip here, which, I'm OCD, so I had to fix it. Now, I didn't put the top on wrong. I moved this. This was on the other side. I took it off of there. I wasn't going to put it back on, but I ended up deciding to put it back on there. So this wasn't here. It was on the other side, and the drawer was facing the correct side according to where this was. So I'm not exactly sure, if I got a Friday afternoon and someone just slapped the sticker on it while they were running out. I don't know, but it wasn't flush with the front. So when you open these, they're pretty much full access drawers. There's a little bit, probably like 1/4 of an inch or so, but then you add more to it, and now it's really not a full access drawer, which is annoying. So I had to take it apart again to be able to have the drawer flush, right? So what I had to do was I had to take the 16 screws off the top, pull the whole top off of it, 4 bolts, blah, 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 switch it around. Well, when I switched it around and I put it back on, I didn't think about the orientation on the cart. So when I put it back on there, my wheels are on the wrong side again. Well, I'm not taking them apart. It's not that big of a deal. Plus, like I said, I'm going to be upgrading those wheels, within the next month or so. I'm just waiting for them to go on sale on either Amazon or when the Harbor Freight does the coupons, like a 20% off. But anyways, so yeah, make sure your wheels are oriented the right way. Make sure this sits flush. I don't know why it wasn't, but and then when I did the rubber here, the mat, this was a Harbor Freight 18 by 72 roll was enough to do the whole cart. So seeing as I had this back apart, I wiped it down with alcohol, cut the mat to fit, sprayed it with some adhesive spray, and then I cut out the holes for the bolts, and now I got the 4 bolts actually holding the mat in place as well, so that's not going anywhere. The tray did the same thing, sprayed that down, stuck the rubber protector to it. Oh, and I was there Monday. They were unloading these. They're like never in stock, so I got one of these. I was going to get 2, but I didn't want to be that guy that buys them all. So there might still be one there for you if you want one. Those mats are awesome. I recommend picking them up. The side table, make sure you get the 4 drawer, not the 5 drawer. The 5 drawer is too wide, so it'll stick out. The 4 drawer fits perfect. And you do have to drill out the bottom hole in order to get it to fit. I use the hardware that came with the cart because it's black, matches everything. They do give you screws for this, but they're real long, so they're either going to stick out into here like almost an inch, or they're going to stick out underneath here, and if you put the tray down, it's going to scratch the bottom of it. I did the paper towel holder. I use a lot of paper towels doing bearings and stuff on my trailers. So like I decided like that's where I wanted that. So you can't really put the drawer down all the way. I mean, I could pull that off of there and stick it to the front or whatever, but it still goes down enough so I can slide it in between those 2 4x4s, so it will work. And I can put it down while I'm moving it so that things don't rattle off or it doesn't come slamming down itself. But I mean, that's pretty much always going to be living up. So I didn't put the handle back on here. I seen some people do. I didn't want to because this is where I'm going to be working. I don't want to be fighting with a handle sticking up. But what I did do with it, because I wanted to use the factory hardware and these ones are longer, I put the handle down here instead of just discarding it. So now, like if I'm working under my vehicle or I'm sitting, kneeling on the ground, doing my bearings or whatever, and I need to, I can grab it here and yank it over to me. And then I put a magnet here so I can stick, my wrench or bolts or whatever if I'm underneath the truck or whatever, like instead of losing it and doing a snow angel trying to find your wrench because it rolled under you or whatever, stick it right to that. And then you can pull this over. And the other thing that this does too is when you're pushing this, especially on stone and stuff's rattling around, like if it falls over in here, great. But when you're pushing it, it's always going to fall over and come out. And then you're kicking it and it's just annoying. So it kind of serves 2 purposes. I went with the glove holder because I use a ton of gloves, doing bearing services, brake services on your trailer. And if you need a new glove, your other one's greasy because you break a glove or whatever. When they're sitting out, you're trying to get one and doing this, and you don't want to reach in there and grab it with your greasy hand, your other hand. So with this, you can grab it. I don't mind putting a glove on with a greasy hand because I'll wipe my wrist, a little bit of the wrist off or whatever, but just getting grease everywhere, it sucks. Because then if you come out to the garage when you're clean, didn't realize something got greasy and you touched it, now you got grease everywhere. And so whatever. That's what I did. I went with this. I didn't get their magnets. Their magnets are like $8, and they're big. That's a Blackstone. I had a bunch of them that I got with my Blackstone, and I just don't use them on there because the Blackstone has hooks built into it. So I decided to put that on there. And then these are the rings to hold open-end wrenches. Stick them all together. I stuck all my brushes on there. Live in the Rust Belt. I use a lot of these. These were just actually on sale, so I got some new ones at Harbor Freight. They had a coupon. And then in the back, these are Work Pro. The 2 of these, either blue or red, are the colors they come in. The set of 2 was like one of those sales, like sometimes you open Amazon, you're looking at something, it's like, hey, 5 minutes, you could buy it for this price. I think they were $12 for the 2 of them. And they, magnet on the back, and they hold more than just screwdrivers. You can put your open ends on there, plugs, whatever you want. I got my trim tool, my air, the different screwdrivers. And then you know it doesn't have to like go in, like these little ones fit down the side here perfect, so slide those just in there like that. And these are actually my wife's dad's Craftsman, made in the USA. So I don't know, Sears has been closed for man, what, 10 years? I think Craftsman's only been in Lowe's for like 2 or 3, maybe a little bit longer. So they and all this stuff is made in Taiwan. So these are, at least, I would say, well, I've been with her for 19 or 20 years, and I've had them, you know, they were her dad's. So they're at least 20 years old, older than that. I know they look new, but I don't ever really use them just because I wasn't a Craftsman guy. But for out here, like the moisture out here, whoever put this crappy little thing up, you know, 40 years ago, didn't do a vapor barrier. So in the spring, everything in here is wet. So when I got rid of my shop and moved all my crap into here, the first spring, like everything was rusting. Like I was pissed. So I ended up insulating and finishing off the shed. I run a dehumidifier in there, and I put like a rubber mat to kind of act as like a vapor barrier on the concrete floor in there. And then in here's how I got this set up. These are just some open ends. You know, I got like the ratcheting flex heads and stuff in my nice toolbox in there. These are just, you know, I basically, I have this set up so like if I'm out here, I got to like do something on that real quick, whatever. One bolt, grab it, do what I got to do. I mean, if I'm doing something on my truck, if, you know, something, you know, I need to do like a bigger job, then I'll take the cart into there, grab, you know, the full set of the nicer sockets, you know, the real, you know, the nice ratchets, you know, like whatever, I'll grab whatever I need in there, put it on the cart, and then I can pull the cart out there instead of walking back and forth and back and forth. But, you know, so these aren't nothing. I don't even know where these came from, honestly. Like, they've been sitting in like a crappy toolbox. I don't know. Lion tools. I don't know. I mean, they're not horrible. I mean, the handles are kind of cheesy. But either way, just out here just to have something quick to grab. And then I just picked these up, these little Pittsburgh, just to have them out here. 10 millimeter, 15 millimeter, 19. Your 3 most common sizes working on a Chevy. I think these were like $10 or something. And then I just cut down the container that they came in and sanded that down, so it's still a holder. Got my open ends there, so that's nice. Yeah, so like I said, this is just to grab something real quick, just to work, you know, if I need to do a bolt real quick or something. But yeah, so that's the cart. Just a couple things to look out for. Make sure you put the wheels on the right side. Make sure that's flush so that it fits right. The other thing, if you get, like, I bought the metal tray that sticks out probably like this far. It's like 10 inches long. It's got a couple slots on each side for screwdrivers. Well, it's got like a little foot underneath it that has to rest on this so it doesn't just tip. So you can't put it on the front. Obviously, you won't be able to open the drawer. Obviously not there, because that's where the tray, or the flip-up tray is. I went with the gloves, but even without the gloves, you can't put it here, because if you stick it here, this is too far in to flip to catch the foot. If you put it under here, it sticks down too far to catch that. And I didn't want it on the back because I want it up against the wall, and I wanted all my screwdrivers there. So that didn't work for me. I am going to get the cup holder, though. Not so much because I need someone to hold my beer, but I think if I stick that here, brake cleaner, WD-40, whatever, and obviously a drink, so that can go here, or, you know, I can push the gloves back and stick it there. But either way, I think that's going to work. I'm just waiting. I haven't seen orange. If I have to, I'll get black. You know, the black will still match, but I'm hoping that they come out with an orange one for it. But either way, for right now, this is it, and I'm going to work it and live with it for a month or so until I kind of figure out what I want to do with it. And eventually, I'm probably going to end up getting some nicer tools to put in here, or maybe like the Huskies and stuff that I have in there will end up out here, and I'll get, you know, upgrade the tools for in there. But for right now, just a quick little service cart to do oil changes and, you know, work on stuff and have my parts here so that I'm not like dropping stuff down in the engine bay or losing a wrench or trying to figure out where the socket rolled off to. So, but yeah, that's what I did. Those are the couple things to look out for. And yeah, hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or anything, you put them down in the comments, and I don't know, sometimes I read them and I'll give you an answer. But thanks for watching.